Okay, before we get started, and if you're not familiar with Bales, I'd like to take a second to tell you a little about us. We have been in the Infor ecosystem for over 26 years. We are entirely Infor focused. We do nothing but Infor implementations, upgrades, and managed services. We support all aspects of the technology, including S3, Landmark, and Cloud Suite, including HCM, finance, and supply chain. In fact, we have been recognized and given partnering awards in 8 of the last 10 years. Our consultants bring 15 plus years of consulting experience in this space and the equivalent in professional experience. Some are former benefit managers, compensation managers, directors of supply chain, as well as former controllers and CFOs. Class. Class is an independent organization that ranks healthcare IT performance. Bales was recognized as top of class for 2020 and 2021 in the Infor partner ecosystem. Exciting news for the Infor community. Earlier this year, Bales became part of Nordic, an industry-leading healthcare consulting firm. Bales will operate as a wholly owned subsidiary and continue to be led by Jamie Bales. Nordic will provide us with resources to fund our growth, expand our business, and support our customers more effectively. For healthcare customers, it allows us to bring together the Nordic's capabilities in the EHR space to provide a more holistic solution, including specific expertise in EHR and ERP integration. This combination will offer a best practice model to reduce implementation risks and leveraging the data from both systems to drive insights and outcomes. Today's session is going to be recorded, and a link to the recording will be sent to all registrants. If you are not registered but would like to receive the link, please email Molly Velasco at balesllc.com to request a link. Again, we'd like to thank you for joining us today. Let me turn it over to presenters, Karen and Candace. Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. So Nikki wasn't able to join today, and we have Candace here who's gonna help me. I'm Karen Evans, and I'll be your presenter today.
I'm Candace Limhouse. I'm one of the HCM practice leaders that will be helping monitor the chat.
Thanks, Candace. And here's a disclaimer. I won't read the whole thing, but it basically, I'm sure you're familiar with it. Give you a chance to look through that. Just references. We want to provide you information and it's best practice decisions, so I'll let you read that. And you can contact Bales if you want to discuss anything further. So that's our disclaimer. So again, this is a home pages overview. And this is part of Infor-OS. In today's agenda, we're going to talk about the architecture, the components of Infor-OS, what a home page is, the benefits of a home page, widgets within the home pages, how to create a home page, and we'll look at some key features, the catalogs that are delivered with the product. We'll touch on some tips and tricks, identify some supported browsers and accessibility, and then we'll wrap it up with some questions. So let's jump right in. Let's talk about the architecture. So Infor-OS is the technology platform, that delivers our Landmark products, the Infor products. It's industry-specific solutions that are housed within there, and a lot of you are probably Infor Lawson users, so you're probably familiar a little bit with Infor-OS. Infor Mingle is a component within Infor-OS, and it provides the framework that integrates all the Infor ERP applications within that homepage. So the homepage sits within Infor Mingle, and the homepage is delivered through a number of widgets and things like that. And it really is a quick glance or a view at critical information. So that's kind of gives you an idea of where the homepage sits. And here's a little bit of a closer view. Infor-OS components, and here's a mouthful, right? So facilitates integration with ION, extensibility with IDM, business intelligence with BI, and collaboration with Mingle. So home pages is what we'll be focusing on today. And as you can see, it's highlighted here in yellow. These are just a few of the components within Infor-OS, but home pages is definitely what we're going to focus on. So what is a home page? So there's just some of the things you can do with home pages. It's a very powerful tool. It is one platform to quickly access Infor modules and screens without, accessing the entire application. So it's really a quick view. You can add widgets, and these widgets really drive the functionality or your views within the product. And there are quick access to applications, business intelligence, repeated processes, some statistics, and you can see the screen print down here that shows you some of the powerful things that the tool can do. So, and again, it is an at-a-glance snapshot of critical information, and role-based it can be based upon what you do and what you need to see to do your job and perform it effectively. You can kind of think of it as a hub for applications across Infor OS. So here's an example of my page. So I'm a consultant, and so this is the page I see when I log on to Infor Concierge, and this is things that would be important to me as a consultant. And so you have the ability to set these screens up, and sometimes they're delivered by your organization, but you have the ability to set these screens up role-based to help you get a quick glance at things you really want to see based on your job. And so some of the benefits of a homepage, it's highly configurable based on your specific needs. And, you know, again, it'll show critical information that are basic to you. If you're maybe a recruiter, you might want to see how long it takes to fill a role or how many open job requisitions you have. Maybe if you're in supply chain, you want to see a list of your vendors, things like that. So definitely a very powerful tool that can do all these things. So you can do quick one-click sharing of knowledge and documents and lists and things like that, maybe with team members. You can share data and screens and organize conversations, and you can save time, you know, as you move forward when you have this critical information directly at your fingertips. So just to jump into some of these things it can do that we've kind of mentioned already, you can create a home page, you can remove a home page, you can duplicate and refresh home pages, meaning copy, and then refresh that copied widget to make sure that you're getting the most recent and up-to-date published information. You can export and import with the tool. You can search for specific widgets. Maybe there's a number of them in the catalog that are already delivered and produced and delivered within the application. You can always preview before you want to publish because you have the ability to have private widgets and public widgets. Private, of course, you would only see, and then public, of course, anybody who has access within home pages would be able to see that. You can put URLs into the system onto a widget that you might want somebody to click on for additional information, alerts, announcements. And again, like I mentioned, you can publish those and maybe even sort them within the screen that you create for yourself. So let's kind of touch on widgets a little bit. So it's a small single purpose application for quick access. So the widget is really, once we'll take a glance at the catalog and things that are available within the application, but it's really a click and drop. So you click on the plus sign, you drop a widget, and you can create a home page. So the advantages of a widget is that they're simpler to use than loading a full application. So you get a display that has your quick information, like I'd mentioned. It could be based on your role or based on, you know, it could be a delivered screen that all employees get based on your organization. Maybe your organization wants all your employees to see their time off, their time sheets, you know, things like that. And you can set a home page for all your employees, like I said. And it's really not intended for complex interactions. It's really, you know, that's what the application's there for. This is really used to get a quick glance at critical information that's really important to you in your role. So there's a few types of widgets that are available within the solution. Inline widgets that are kind of like the delivered ones, external widgets, you can import, export like we talked about, bring URLs in. And then there's inline hybrid widgets, and it's a really powerful tool. So I do recommend you, if you want to learn more about that, you can access Infor's Homepages Widget SDK Developers Guide, and that's software development kit. So definitely go out to campus and access that or Infor support, and you can find this document out there to learn more about these widgets at a higher level. Excuse me, at a more detailed level. So here's a quick view of what standard widgets are delivered. And you can see over here in the left-hand margin, there's published widgets, standard widgets, you know, there's tenant widgets and things like that. So definitely a powerful tool. There's many things at your fingertips delivered in the application, and you can go out here and just, again, click on the plus signs and add things to your homepage. And make those changes. You can publish them again. So a lot of things available out here to do to create a homepage. So here's a view of creating a homepage. Over here, there's ellipsis, the three dots over here, where you can click on that. Opens up a menu, and you can see there's an ability to edit a page, create a page, remove pages. So all these types of things you can do. You can go to My Pages and edit a page that you've already have out there. And I created this real quick, just Infor logo and a little bit about Bales and our Bales logo, things like that. So again, real powerful tool. You can push out announcements and things like that, like we talked about, and have a real powerful banner. And again, a lot of organizations really push these out for their population. So you might not really realize you're looking at a Mingle homepage when you log into Global HR or CSF, but definitely it's probably a homepage looking at. And there's some menu options. So just to step back, a widget, remember, is just a single point of entry into the application to get a quick glance of some critical information that you need to see. Because, somebody who's in finance is going to want to see something different than maybe someone in supply chain or even a leader or someone in HR or payroll. So they're going to want to see something different that's critical to them to get their job done. So we have our menu up here in the yellow bar, orange bar, items that you can see. You can add the banner widget. You have over here in the left-hand margin, there's your home screen. You have the ability to click on that, and you can see different home pages that are out there available to you. Move between those home pages. You can have more than one home page. You can add widgets here within the center. Simply click on the add widget, and another screen will come up and show you a lot of the delivered. Sorry about that. So the delivered widgets. And then there's also a catalog I mentioned that's available within Infor OS. So that's available right there at Infor support. You can access that. So the banner widget, it should contain a lot more information, provide a high level insight, and you should make the banner stand out if you're going to create a banner and a homepage for all your employees, maybe at your facility. Make sure, recommend selecting from the widget catalog and maybe creating some from there. You can create your own widget, but there is an approval process that it does need to go through if you want to publish a widget. So definitely highly recommend taking a look at widgets that are out there in the catalog.
And Karen, they're adding those all new ones all the time, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, this is Nikki. Yes, they add them every few months, I think.
Yep. Thanks, Nikki. So some of the delivered functionality, you can bookmark sites within your homepage. So things when you think about, sites that you go to all the time to do your job, you can bookmark those. And we talked about, embedding a URL within that homepage, links to other folders or groups of folks that you want them to be informed of certain things to do their jobs more efficient. You can have a widget for notes, maybe websites, alerts and lists, some metrics that might be important, like I talked about, time to fill, maybe for a recruiter. And it is enabled for Infor Go. So just want to let you know that. So the widget catalog, here's kind of a quick look at widgets that are out there. And a good widget, like I said, is a quick view of important information. So not intended to create complex processes, but definitely quick views. So along the left-hand margin here, you can't really see it, so I popped it out here. You can click on the different widgets within the categories. So you have application widgets, BI widgets, statistical widgets, social widgets, etc. So there's definitely a lot of functionality out here to create different types of widgets, and click on some of the ones in the catalog to help create a homepage for yourself or others. And then here's a quick view of what the page catalog looks like. So I'm clicked on the application widget, it's selected, and you can see there's a number of different widgets there. based on the application, things like that, already developed that you can go ahead and use. Or again, create your own. So here's some tips and tricks. Once a widget is published, all users have access. And you can refresh the page, kind of like what Nikki just said. They put more out there all the time. So if there's a widget you use all the time and you copied it, just refresh it to make sure you're getting the most up-to-date information on that widget. For full controller widget pages, like I said earlier, it is recommended you try to use the standard widgets or ones that are out there already published. If the widget isn't available to you and you go ahead and click on it, it means the widget, that's the sign you're going to get, the return message, the widget's not available. If you're not authorized to use a widget, you'll get that message. So contact your IT department, to see if you can get access. It's based on permissions, security permissions. So things that you can do within home pages definitely depends on those permissions within your security. So here's some supported browsers that Infor recommends and some other tools that help drive some of the analytic widgets and things like that. If you want to see invoices for accounts payable, some of these other tools you might need to deliver, some of that functionality. Okay, I am from Michigan. I'm a real quick talker. So any questions out there, Nikki or Candace?
Karen, no questions in the chat. Thanks for asking.
Okay. And then some remaining October series sessions. We'll have one Friday, October 22nd. That'll be creating and scheduling recurring jobs. That'll be at 12 p.m. Eastern, and then structure relationships and you at 1 p.m. Eastern. And then we'll also have a session on Friday, October 29th about continuous performance engagement. That's at 12 p.m. Eastern. And then a financial session where you can ask anything. So definitely recommend send emails, sign up, register, or email Molly Velasco at balesllc.com. And then here's a little bit more information about our Informative Fridays. Our next quarterly Informative Friday session will start in February. You can follow us on these social medias listed below.
Oh.
And then go ahead.
I would say we have one question from a user that says, any news on improved employee portal, the new ones that are more graphic driven, and how to place widgets on them. So Chris, are you talking about configurable home pages, the ones that have the new menu options? Yes. So these are slightly different and they don't use widgets the same, but if you have questions, I'd be happy to give you my email and we can chat about configurable home pages.
Thanks,
Karen.
Candace.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's a really nice feature Bales is offering. We call it Coffee with Consultants. You can talk to a Bales consultant one-on-one, ask a question, look at a particular system feature. And to register for Coffee with Consultants with our Bales consultants, you can visit our website at www.balesllc.com or email Molly Velasco at balesllc.com. All right. Thank you for your time, everyone, today. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you,
Thank you.
Candace. Thank you, Nikki. Have a good day.
Thank you.